Fighting Noise, a nonoise podcast. And live again from Start Summit St-Gallen, I'm honored to welcome today Steffen Ehrhardt from SICTIC, the most active business angel network in Switzerland. Hi Steffen, thanks for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning. So what about the conference today? Do you enjoy that?
Oh, definitely enjoy it. It's definitely one of the highlights in Switzerland when it comes to startup conferences. One of the big three here. And what's exciting to see that this year's a lot more international people here.
Yeah.
Because you can see that the attractiveness of the Swiss markets, reaching not even just UK, Germany and France, even the US. And a lot of people try to understand what's going on here. And yeah, it's a great success for the country.
It's quite active on the startup side. I hear that Switzerland is one of the most active founder market as well. A lot of Swiss founders anywhere and international founders going to Switzerland. But what about the business angel? Is there a strong culture of investing, of VC, of investing in startups for many years now?
Yeah. It's unfortunately historically not that well developed. It's in the process to grow. We're doing a lot of educational efforts, we wrote a book, How to Do Angel Investment, and that it's not rocket science. And it's just trying to understand a bit of the dynamics. And it's obviously very well established in the US. In Europe, UK is maybe a bit ahead of the game, but it's for us, just the huge gap to close between the US and what we see right now in Europe is a fantastic opportunity. Because a lot of startups just need a first initial certain amount of money to get started. And that luckily becomes less and less of a problem. Obviously, you need to have a great team, great idea, but business angels can really help a lot of people to make their ideas reality.
And what round do you join with your network?
So usually very early on, so from pre-seed, sometimes seed as well, where business angels can have the most impact. Because it's not just about the money. So a lot of business angels invest in startups because they might have the industry expertise and really believe in this product and idea, and they can add a lot of value. And even with regards to, for example, hiring. If you worked for Roche, Novartis and Co., you probably know a lot of great people in the industry, and when you have a medtech startup trying to find the right profile, those angels then potentially can help you.
Do your business angels invest in European startups as well, or mostly in Switzerland with a patriotic sense of defending Swiss startups?
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting that a lot of Swiss angels definitely prefer investing in Swiss startups. I'm an angel myself, I invest globally in startups whenever there's a great idea, great team. But there's certain dynamics here that are quite interesting. The survival rate of startups in Switzerland is way higher than it is in other places. Just to get started is a lot easier here. It's not just because of the money, because finding the first, 50, 100K is a bit easier in Switzerland than it is, in Eastern Europe. Because of the money that is in the country. But it's also about the infrastructure. Give an example, in the food tech space, if you're a startup, you're an ETH student, you can leverage and use an amazing facility that has a value of, a couple of million, including incredible professors. That's an infrastructure that, if you're, somewhere else, and I give the example of Eastern Europe again, you don't have that. You have to build it on your own, and that requires a good amount of money. And here there's a couple of those kind of advantages in several areas that help startup to get up and running. And that's kind of you can say maybe unfair advantage, but the infrastructure is really helping. And so then angels have are easier to convince to invest in those.
So because it's not just about the money, but about the facilities. You try even to attract these international founders to join Switzerland, to join here accelerators, school to partner here.
Yeah.
Let's speak about impact investing.
Yeah.
How developed is it? And I think you have 400 business angels in your network. And
correct. Yes.
Even more. What's the ticket size you do invest in general, in average?
So in Switzerland, you can say that angel investors start with a 20,000 Swiss franc ticket.
Okay.
As the lowest one, and average what we see when we can support a startup is 500,000.
500,000. Okay. what about impact investing? What are the expectations of your business angels, of you as a business angel, regarding impact investing? Do you expect extra economical result as well? Do you care about impact investing? What's your point of view?
So, like I personally, I worked with last years a lot on sustainability topics, and like in my role, I kind of try to, you can say, educate angels that impact investing is not a charity effort, because there is still kind of a bit of this reputation, oh, if I invest in sustainability topics, I will not see that money again, or just like with a very low return. But it doesn't have to be like that. And that's where like I see there's a bit of like more context needed, and also maybe more success stories that will help to show to investors that this is actually a really good investment that can also create a good return, because that obviously is still one of the big factors why people do angel investing. They would like to see the money back, and ideally a bit more. And then like impact investing is not necessarily top of mind versus all the other industries.
I totally understand that. Regarding impact, you know, at No Noise and in this podcast, Fighting Noise, we do care about fighting against noise pollution. What's your, it's not, I know it's not a really common topic, and it's not a lot of investors just hear about that for the first time, even if we already have something like 50 or 60 great startups working on that topic. What's your point of view about noise pollution? Because when you speak about sustainability, I guess you speak mostly about climate change startups, oriented startups, and fight against CO2 air pollution. So what's your point of view about noise pollution as one topic?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like the biggest umbrella is SDG, then it's sustainability, and then it goes down into certain other subcategories. There are a lot of like universe, like just an ocean startup ecosystem. And what I personally like find interesting, I can relate to this topic quite well. I grew up in the countryside, you can say in the middle of nowhere, where noise was not a problem, or it was more natural noise, you can say, that makes it easier for people to live, let's put it this way. I remember like my first time when I moved into a city, how I was really surprised how present there is whatever kind of constant noise from a construction site, from the cars, etc., etc. And there is like an ecosystem in that like sustainability context from multiple different angles, and like this clear link from noise to health. Not everyone is aware of it. And for me, it's interesting in Switzerland, for example, there's a stronger awareness of this than in other countries. Like, for me, a good example is like the Zurich airport is one of the quietest airports.
Yeah, that's right. I was very surprised.
And they build it also with the new terminal in a way that it even takes more noise out of it, which kind of like takes away more stress from people who like want to fly. And like if you've been at a couple of airports, it can be extremely stressful, and not just due to the amount of people, but also due to the noise. And in startup ecosystem, there are definitely a couple of interesting opportunities. I think the biggest point that not only noise, but in sustainability context, startups have to think about early on how to align all of this with the, call it, capitalistic reality of this world. And there's a lot of incredible founders doing really great stuff, but if you cannot find a way for this, you can only grow to a certain level, but you stay small and your impact will be limited. And those who figure out a way how to make it a sustainable, financially sustainable business, they have a very good and better position also to grow, because it attracts investors who would like to invest in scalable businesses, and they want both, you know, they want impact and financial return.
But without financial return, you have no impact, because you can't survive for many years as well.
There's a very limited...
Or you bootstrap, which is not the case, but not the one we discussed today. Okay. Do you know already startups in that case?
I mean, you shared with me a couple of them, because I haven't really looked into it specifically. Like for me, over the last years, the carbon topic is something not that exciting. There's a lot of noise, a lot of scam as well, and weird business models. I look deeper into biodiversity. which was fascinating for me to see. They also struggle to make the links to like what's the real impact and what it means in terms of money. Other areas like on the blue economy, or like I support a weather startup. There's a lot of great things happening, and thinking about early on how this could look like from a commercial aspect is something I tell basically all of them. Because you have incredible researchers, like they build a fantastic product, but specifically in Switzerland, there are a lot of people who don't think from the beginning, is there product market fit? Is there an audience who would basically buy that and pay for it? It's like a lot of people, it's like, oh, it's a nice to have. But it's like, is it just like a beauty product or is it like medicine?
Or even do they have access to the market? Why I do repeat here on the conference or day with startups, why do you do that? Okay, that's your passion, but do you have a go-to-market strategy? Or do you have the right access to the market? If not, it's maybe more difficult than you think, even if you have a great product.
And in this context, like this whole space, first of all, needs to educate and create awareness that this is a problem. A lot of people don't know that. And I think that makes it even tougher because like if there's not a general awareness of some of the problems that exist, it's a great storytelling that is needed, a narrative that works with like everyone, not just investors, because then it creates kind of a flywheel that makes this topic even more present, like in media and so on.
Great. How can founders get in touch with you or with SICTIC to send a deck?
Of course, I mean, we're always interested in meeting great founders.
To do it?
Just go to sictic.ch. There's like startup submission form where they can fill in all the details. And we're non-profit, so we're not taking any equity or fee from startups. We try to connect them to the right angels who are interested in investing in multiple different areas. And hopefully we can support them and do also specific events in certain areas where we see opportunities. We do a food tech event. We work like with Blue Lion on like different climate-related events to really make sure that from my end, I can really help those startups by bringing some investors and convince like the overall ecosystem of angel investors that this is actually a fantastic opportunity for them, not just to make great return, but also just to learn about what's happening in all those different areas, because they will be advocates then to other people as well. And usually angel investors are advocates that like have maybe higher seniority level, have an audience that listens to them because they run a team or organization and whatsoever. And it's good to have those kind of lobbyists, you can say, who bring more attention to important topics like that.
So let's maybe think about a noise tech event to make awareness around that and gather a startup around that.
Honestly, that would be quite a unique one. I haven't heard of one in Europe at this.
And that's my goal. Point. There is no vertical for noise, and noise is around mobility, industry, construction, social life, but and health tech. But there is not one vertical, and that's my goal, to build it. And to be honest, even this morning I spoke to a very big investor near my hotel, and it told me, there is so much to do in that case. But I think if we don't have the right vertical, if accelerators, incubators, if business angels, networks, and if we don't create that vertical, make it aware that we can invest into that topic, because there is a very big pain and a very costly pain, 1,000 billion in Europe per year. I think we can make it happen. We should make it happen. It's one of the goals.
Let's just make the link to the dollars early on. What does it mean in terms of like dollars, Swiss franc, euros, whatever, to like convince everyone that this is like something that needs to be addressed?
And I hope the founders and listeners of this podcast will understand that with no money, no possibility to have an impact. So impact is the vision, that's the North Star, that's the mission. But at some point we have to speak about metrics and to be convincing around metrics first of all, and then make it happen. Steffen, thanks a lot for your time today. It was great to have you. And we keep in touch. And if you have any questions you can reach out to the SICTIC website. So SICTIC.ch. Yeah, get the Swiss business angels to invest into impact topics.
Yeah.
We can make it happen. Thanks a lot, Steffen.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Good. Nice chat.